two-story family home inside a mountain. For his wife and children, Mr. Hu spends 7 years cutting through solid rock. Every inch is dangerous. Thousands of tons hang above him, and one wrong move could bring everything down. And the mountain fights back. Water breaks in. Fire erupts. A hidden fault line threatens the build. Then comes his hardest task, carving a staircase from opposite ends, hoping both sides meet. Still, Hu pushes on, bringing electricity, water, and stone-carved furniture into the home. But after years of sacrifice, he is forced to leave. When he returns nearly 2 years later, nature has taken over. The mountain is reclaiming his dream. Is reclaiming his dream. Can one man turn solid rock into the home he promised his family? It all started in 2019, deep within the bamboo forests of Sichuan, China. While the world builds with brick and mortar, Mr. Hu chooses a different path. A two-story home for his family, carved directly into the mountain itself. Years of experience in coal mining and construction taught him how rock behaves under pressure and where it can fail. But no amount of knowledge can predict what lies hidden deep within this mountain. The plan is brutally ambitious. Cut a ground floor into solid rock, drill a new entry higher up, and carve an internal staircase that must align perfectly to connect both floors. The work begins on the lower level. For Hu, it traces back to a childhood vision. Why build a home by stacking stone when you could carve one directly from a mountain? With the skills he's gained and a family he wants to provide for, that dream feels stronger than ever. In Sichuan, rain is a relentless enemy. It finds its way through even the smallest gaps, so sealing the entry at this stage is a structural necessity. Like any home, it will eventually need electricity and running water, essential systems he will have to find a way to bring into the mountain. The deeper he goes, the more complex the engineering becomes. To cut through the solid rock, Hu uses a water core drill that extracts cylindrical sections of stone. It works by continuously pumping water through the bit, turning rock dust into slurry and making removal far easier. Nothing here is wasted. These cylinders are carefully extracted and stored for later use throughout the build. With thousands of tons overhead, the risk of collapse is constant. Hu cannot clear the room all at once, so he leaves a massive central pillar to hold the ceiling. Then he carves the walls into an arch, shifting the load into the side walls. Only then is the pillar safe to remove. Carving a mountain by hand is a brutal physical challenge, and doing it alone only multiplies the exhaustion. Every angle hurts, especially the overhead work, which sends numbing pain through his shoulders and neck. Still, it is not enough to make Hu give up on his dream, so he keeps expanding what will become his main bedroom. During the expansion, he notices a subtle draft. Using a lighter, he sees the flame flicker. Air is leaking somewhere through the rock. It means there are cracks. If rainwater starts entering them, it could be a real mess. So he stops excavating the rear wall to avoid destabilizing it, and will tackle the problem after fully removing the column. The column finally gives way, and exactly as planned, the arched ceiling holds firm. Following his recycling ethos, part of the column is shaped into a small table for the garden. But half a ton of rock is far beyond what one man could move by force alone. So he decides to use some saved cylinders to move it outside. It's only the first of many ingenious tricks Hu will use while carving his two-story mountain home by himself. The column out, he can begin shaping the room's final proportions. In a landscape of jagged stone and uneven surfaces, precision becomes essential. He relies on a self-leveling construction laser. Its green beam becomes his only objective reference. Once the stone is cut away, there is no reversing the mistake. That level of accuracy is critical for the layout he has planned. This first floor will become the master suite for him and his wife, while a second level still waiting to be carved above will one day belong to his children. With the floor leveled, Hu takes preventive action against Sichuan's heavy storms. The crack he found while expanding the room could become a big problem once real rain hits. So he cuts a drainage trench from there to the entrance, guiding any water out. As an extra precaution, he applies cement to the crack, hoping this seal and the drainage trench will keep the house dry. All that remains is to wait and see how the mountain responds. Next, he begins the most high-stakes structural connection, the internal staircase. The stairs will lead up to the second floor, so logistical foresight is critical here. He marks out the blueprint on the facade, calculating the exact number of steps needed to reach it. It's been a year and a half since he first began the project, and he's not even halfway finished. The ground floor finally has the rough shape of a room, but his vision reaches higher. So he starts building up, turning the space into a duplex, with no idea whether the rock above is stable or waiting to come down on him. As the stairwell ascends, a familiar bottleneck returns. The physical exhaustion of overhead work is unsustainable. Hu shifts his strategy. He'll pause after these first steps. He will excavate the upper floor and finish the stairs top down later on, protecting his back and guaranteeing a perfect connection. Suddenly, heavy storms arrive, and the mountain home faces a massive test. Inside, the rain proves his water plan was not enough. The cement has failed, and the drainage trench is overwhelmed. If Hu wants to make this cave livable, he needs a permanent fix. Once the storm subsides, Hu rushes to secure the room. The problem is bigger than expected. Water is not just seeping in, it is pouring through the cracks. This forces him to reinforce the area with more cement and complete the seal with expanding foam. His expertise tells him not to seal it completely. The rock needs to breathe. While applying the foam, he intentionally leaves small ventilation openings to prevent humidity from building up inside the rock. As a final layer of protection, he installs mesh screens over the openings, keeping insects from entering the house. With the rear wall sealed, work can resume. Hu wants to make the space habitable as quickly as possible, so he can move in while construction continues. He starts with the floor, installing tiles that create a barrier against the constant moisture rising from the earth. But the space still lacks its most essential systems: electricity and running water. To bring power to this remote site, he personally dragged miles of cable through the forest. A brutal effort, but one that finally brings the reward of light into the mountain home. With electricity sorted, he turns to the next essential system: running water. There's a natural spring a mile away, a perfect opportunity to pump fresh water all the way to the house. But before bringing water in, wastewater needs somewhere to go, so a deep pit is dug for the future bathroom. The water coming from the spring needs to be stored, so a tank is brought up to the bamboo slopes. An automatic float switch cuts the power the moment it fills, preventing overflows. Then he begins laying a long network of pipes through the forest, overcoming a 100-foot drop to connect his home to the spring. At the source, the submersible pump will bring the whole system to life, pushing water all the way up to the tank, which will then supply the house. The water is crystal clear and completely potable. With the supply system operational here, Hu can return to the mountain house to complete the final connections. Inside the master suite, he installs plumbing lines for the toilet and bathroom, while additional exterior pipes will later extend the system to a future kitchen and garden. The setup is finally ready to test. Water flows perfectly through the pipes and drains safely out into the forest, completing the loop. The project is moving closer every day to becoming a fully livable home. Soon, Hu will start work on the kitchen, carve out the second floor, and connect both levels from within. But first, the entrance needs protection. On the steep terrain, heavy rain can turn the soil into mud and send it sliding down the precipice. A concrete base locks the ground in place and stabilizes the entrance. He finds a second use for the saved rock cylinders, a retaining wall around the garden. It is getting cold inside the cave, and before sealing the window, Hu builds a homemade stove for the lower floor. By lining the interior with refractory mortar, he creates thermal mass that continues to radiate heat long after the fire has gone out. He positions the stove beneath the gaps in the rear wall, using them as a chimney to vent smoke safely outside. Completing the window is the final step for the first floor, before Hu shifts his focus to the exterior and the upper level. A proper window here will keep out rain and bugs while allowing natural light and ventilation. When he finishes the window, Hu will leave the first floor empty, knowing that the future staircase connection will bring heavy dust and debris that could damage any finished surfaces. After connecting both levels, he will furnish it and finally move in.
50,000 उधार लें और 20,000 वापस करें। अब ज्यादा सूद वाले कर्जों के लिए मजीद दरख्वास्त ना दें। अभी मनी टैप से उधार लेने के लिए नीचे दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें। ये SECP के जरिए लाइसेंस शुदा कंप्लायंट क्रेडिट प्रोडक्ट है। किसी पेचीदा मालूमात की जरूरत नहीं है। ये सिर्फ एक कप कॉफी में किया जा सकता है। इसे 50,000 लोन लेने तक इस्तेमाल करें और इसे 3 रिकॉर्ड में आसानी से अदा कर सकते हैं। बात यह है कि मनी टैब मुख्तलिफ गिरोहों के मुख्तलिफ कर्जों के लिए हल फराहम करता है। अगर आपके पास अच्छा क्रेडिट है तो आपको कम सूद और ज्यादा रकम मिल सकती है। हिचकिचाहट ना करें। अभी डाउनलोड करने के लिए नीचे दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें और अप्लाई करें।
And finally move in. first floor is now sealed, and construction starts to move upward. To ensure success, he plans everything in detail on a whiteboard. He will carve an outdoor kitchen directly into the rock, saving valuable space inside. Its roof will then become a terrace, giving Hu the platform he needs to start carving the second floor. After 2 years of work, the project is nearing the upper floor. Excavating into the mountain again means starting from zero, under even greater physical strain. Hu can only hope the condition of the rock above allows him to complete his dream. While clearing the area for the kitchen, Hu notices several trees that could fall onto the structure. He takes advantage of the situation to cut them down safely and repurpose them as structural pillars for the porch. To fix the main horizontal beams to the facade, he bores deep sockets directly into the mountain rock. This ensures that the weight of the roof is transferred directly into the stone, eliminating the need for external brackets or supports. Once the porch structure is in place,